Crete, a rich and powerful island civilization that once dominated the sea, influenced art and culture across the Aegean, and helped shape early Greek history. But sometime after 1500 BC, it all crumbled suddenly. What happened to this advanced world, and why did it disappear almost overnight? Crete, Homer's glowing island. When Homer wrote the Odyssey, he described a stunning island far out in the wine-dark sea, full of cities, people, and languages. That island was Crete, the southernmost of the Greek islands. It sits about 400 miles northwest of Alexandria in Egypt, and by around 7000 BC, people were already living there. By the 2nd millennium BC, the culture of Crete, what we now call the Minoan civilization, had spread across the eastern Mediterranean. With its strategic position and maritime skills, Crete built not an empire through war, but a trade network that reached as far as Egypt, Syria, Anatolia, and even Italy. King Minos, the Labyrinth, and the Bull. The myths about King Minos and the Minotaur aren't just Greek fairy tales, they're how later Greeks tried to make sense of Crete's immense influence. According to legend, Minos was the son of Zeus and Europa, a Phoenician princess. Europa was carried off by Zeus disguised as a white bull to Crete. Their son Minos grew up to be king. In myth, Minos defeated Athens and demanded it send Athenian youths to be sacrificed to the Minotaur, a half-man, half-bull creature kept in the labyrinth. While the monster was fiction, the symbolism wasn't. Bulls were sacred in Minoan culture, seen everywhere in their art, like the famous bull's head wine vessel housed in the Heraklion Archaeological Museum. Sea power and trade, not war. Even ancient historian Thucydides, writing in the 5th century BC, viewed Minos as the first naval power in Greek memory. He believed Minos conquered the Cyclades and cleared the sea of pirates to protect trade routes, but modern historians take a different view. Instead of warships forcing tribute, they see Crete as a thalassocracy, a sea-based power whose influence came from trade, not conquest. No evidence has ever been found of Minoan colonies sending money or tribute to Knossos. Yet everywhere Minoans went, their pottery, writing, architecture, and clothing styles followed. Palaces, not kingdoms. In the early 1900s, British archaeologist Arthur Evans uncovered ruins on Crete and named the ancient culture the Minoans after King Minos. What he found was remarkable. Sprawling palace complexes like the Palace of Knossos, full of art, advanced architecture, and clear signs of wealth and organization. Most ancient cities built walls, but on Crete, walls were rare. That's a clue. Either they had no threats, or they had another kind of defense. The Minoan navy likely patrolled the coast and protected trade routes. Strategic ports like Amnisos near Knossos helped Crete become a major maritime player in the region. Language, writing, and the rise of the Mycenaeans. The Minoans developed a writing system called Linear A, which still hasn't been deciphered, but it was used widely inscribed on pottery found across the Aegean. Later, their script evolved into Linear B, used by the Mycenaean Greeks. Linear B was deciphered in the 1950s and is the earliest form of written Greek. This writing is one more reason scholars link Minoan Crete to later Greek civilization. Even Homer, writing centuries later, remembered King Minos and Crete with admiration. A sudden collapse. So what happened? Why did this advanced, peaceful, and prosperous civilization vanish? One major theory is the volcanic eruption on Thera, aka Santorini, which exploded sometime around the 16th century BC. It was 4 times more powerful than Krakatoa in 1883. It destroyed cities and could have triggered tsunamis, disrupted trade, and created food shortages. But here's the thing. Crete itself shows no direct volcanic damage. Its cities kept running for a while after the eruption. So while the eruption may have weakened Crete's economy by damaging partner cities, it wasn't the final blow. Archaeological evidence shows that around 1450 BC, many Cretan sites were burned and abandoned. Palaces were destroyed. The likely cause? Invasion. Most historians believe the Mycenaeans from mainland Greece invaded and overthrew Minoan leadership. They took over the island and started writing in Linear B. Although Crete's golden age ended, its legacy lived on. Minoan art, architecture, and writing influenced the Mycenaeans, who in turn influenced classical Greece. So no, the Minoans didn't vanish without a trace. Their fingerprints are still everywhere, in the stories, styles, and languages that would shape the Western world.